So in one way, I'm sort of impressed that somebody like Hassan would sort of risk all the stuff he has, all the shit he owns, his fancy car and all of that, just so he could be like, I'm so edge. I support Jew-hating Marxist-Leninist terrorists that kill their own Islamic brothers and sisters. One of the things I wanted to again bring up, because I'm not really sure if I had made sure to clarify this and then uploaded it. Almost everything that Hassan Piker is about, when you know enough about it, you start to see that there's this pattern. Wait a second. So every group he likes of these Islamic freedom fighter type people, one of the key things that he brings up is his criticism of Tibet, which almost takes him completely out of the progressive milieu entirely. Like you kind of can't be. But that's the whole thing, is that the progressives and the liberals and all that, they have this weird relationship now with communist China that really will never, there's never going to be a way that they're going to get out from under. You guys keep supporting communist China at a level that's not just for convenience. And Hassan doing that really shows that, okay, Tibetans are technically Turkic. They're Turkic Himalayans. So they're actually the same racial group as Hassan. Remember, Islam took over, Bikini Girls in effect, Islam took over Western China and a lot of Eurasia, and let this go. Let's everybody just go ahead and go nice and relaxed. So yeah, there we go. So because for a while there was a period of my life that I was actually going to go to a Tibetan medical school, and instead of going to Tibetan medical school, I chose other things. But the language is a Turkic language, and it's extremely difficult to pronounce. My ex-girlfriend actually ended up learning a lot of that. And so something I wanted to bring up about this was every single chance Hassan has gotten, he has sided with, wow, they're in rare form today. Hooey. It's always this thing of that there was some kind of freedom fighting going on, or some great, the Tibetan people were freed from some horrible government. No, the communists in Tibet, who were fundamentally kind of outside agitators, and then it was Islamic agitators who were always a problem for the Tibetans. Remember, the religion that they were, both Bon and Buddhism, had been there for hundreds to 1,000 years in Tibet. And Tibet was one of these places that translated tremendous of obscure texts from India. And they're the only ones who had these obscure texts translated. And in giant libraries. The Muslims hated this. Islam hates Buddhism. And so it's this thing of, the reason he cheers this kind of stuff on is these are the kind of people who pick on people who don't fight back. And then when they wipe a bunch of people out, they're like, oh yeah, look at how he freed them. And there's no Tibetans anywhere who are glad that there's not a Dalai Lama. Anywhere. When you actually know something about Tibetan culture, the similarities between Tibetans and, say, the Navajo are this shocking similarity in a number of their art forms. This is why, guys like fucking Hassan are human trash. They're human detritus. They'll always want to destroy culture. That's what the issue is. That's that kind of mentality, that interest in these the most two colonial forms of thinking, socialism and Islam, that literally destroy everything they don't like and then say, look, we were widely accepted here. Nobody dislikes us here now. So yeah, that's what's really going on. I just want to make sure to touch on that. As his whole thing about, the Dalai Lama and blah blah, this was horrid. The Tibetans had gotten to the point, because if you're into East Asian martial arts, okay, so for those Kung Fu people, where are the Tibetan Lama Pai people? Who are they? Tibetan Lama Pai people are Chinese and whites. Why? Because the Tibetans stopped practicing formal martial arts with, like, I think it was something like the 12th Panchen Lama or something. This is like way back. This is like the 1600s, 1300s. They were like, this is not in line with our Buddhist ways. They felt that, it was because you were thinking about violence, and very likely because there would be contests of fighting. And in many texts, Buddhist monks are fundamentally not allowed to have anything to do with fighting contests, because in Asia that's so popular. But I just wanted to just get into this, and also because Tibetans would, even if you were a monk, you might still technically inherit from your family, and so there's just all kinds of problems with that kind of thing. And so I just wanted to touch on that, because it's just, there's this part of me that I'm like, I want to make sure for the record people know, like, no, you got to really be a specific kind of piece of shit to have that point of view. And that's the thing, is Hasan is just a fucking shithead, and he's a meathead. Like Archie Bunker, he's a meathead. He is literally modern day meathead. Yeah. All right. Talk to you guys later.